everybody, One-A-Weasem here. We just took a look at Best Buy's store exclusive, which is steel-plated smash hit down there. Last night we opened up the Target exclusive, the Nitro Stealth Stinger. We got dark stuff all over the place, and what we're going to do now is shift stores to Toys R Us. We're actually going to take a look at their current exclusive, which is Legendary Hurricane Jet Vac. Now, some of you are like, oh, he already has a Legendary. Come on, what is with these people? Do we really need a second Dark Stealth Elf, a second Legendary Jet Vac? And the answer, believe it or not, is yes. And the reason I say that is this is not the Jet Vac that you've come to know since Giants. He was in the starter pack. He's not a character people really hate. It's just like, oh, geez, he's back again. He's had Light Core, he's had Legendary, he's done quite well for himself, for someone that appeared in Giants. That's essentially what I'm trying to say. Me personally, I still remain a pretty big Jet Vac fan, but why would you pick this up if you've got Light Core Jet Vac, you have Legendary Jet Vac, you have all of the Jet Vacs that can switch paths, you've got Pet Vac, you've got Power Punch Pet Vac, you've got all kinds of Jet Vacs. This and the other returning characters, Sharpshooter, Terrafin, Super Shot, Stealth Elf, they are totally reimagined. And what I mean by that, they're the same character, they're going to have the same personality and traits. It's their attacks that are going to be totally different. Okay, so what you've come to know and expect, it looks like he's retaining some elements there, maybe the Vac Blaster, but it's going to be different. So if you've got a guy that you fight with in your fight club we can't talk about, and he always throws a left hook, okay? And if he doesn't, he throws a right jab at you, okay? That's his MO. Sometimes he'll use his attack 3, which is a headbutt. And he's come around and, he's been a welterweight, he's been a heavyweight, he's done everything. Imagine that guy coming in, and when you fight him this time, he kicks you. He's never kicked before in his life in a fight, okay? You've fought him yourself, you've seen him battle other people in your club, and then all of a sudden he starts throwing roundhouse kicks, and he's spinning on the ground, tripping people, okay? That's kind of the change, kind of in layman terms for you. If you've got a friend that all they talk about is, building computers, and all of a sudden one day they show up and they only talk about riding horses. It's radically different, right? It's the same guy. They sound the same. You're like, oh, yeah. They still like tacos, but he won't shut up about horses now. That's what this is. This is how you need to view the returning characters, all right? So essentially, Jet Vac shows up and he's got brand new upgrades. And that, my friends, is why you would want to pick him up in Legendary form. I will assume the Legendary likely has stat boost. To what degree, I don't know. And I cannot tell you just yet, because I don't have Hurricane Jet Vac in standard form to compare to see, like, okay, critical hit up, armor up, speed down, whatever they decide to do. So that's pretty exciting for me, though, because that's what I enjoy is the stats, what's better and why, where is it better, are there any marginal differences? That's sort of what I enjoy now. As with the Legendary, since the glory days of SSA, they are exclusive to Toys R Us. Bear with me if I lose my voice here. Their price is, as always, $1 higher than pretty much everyone else. But currently they have the only sale going on. They usually have the best sales, period. And right now, if you want Legendary Hurricane Jet Vac and you want 2 of him, it's buy one, get one 40%. If you come in there and you've got to have Fiesta, or you want a second Fiesta or a second Stormblade or something, come in, buy one, get one 40%. Offsets and kind of negates their price increase. So plus they generally have really good stock. So that's the background on him. I think, what was he, $13.99? Something like that. I don't know. I was in a hurry. I just went in and got stuff, got out. I secured Dark Bowser. That was priority number 1. Priority number 2 was getting home to start unboxing. And then play the game and watch the Cowboys. So there in the corner, you see the pretty nice artwork there. Exclusive Legendary series. He's got the special Legendary artwork, as always, or at least since Swap Force. Can't remember if Giants did this. Printed, it's not a sticker, so you can't have someone really fake this adequately. But there's what he looks like in the packaging. Again, I seriously wish I had the standard so I could compare it. What I'll do when I do acquire standard Hurricane Jet Vac, we'll have this guy handy so we can kind of compare and contrast. He is an Air Element Supercharger. In this case, we'll spin it around in your hand on the portal into the game. There's Super Shot Stealth Elf doing her thing. You can see supercharged version with her and the Stealth Stinger. Jet Vac will do the same thing with his vehicle, the Jet Stream. I know that's hard to keep track of it all, but Jet Vac with the Jet Stream, Stormblade with the Sky Slicer. He can pilot anything. You can throw him in the barrel. Well, I guess you could. We'll have to test that. I assume you can. So you could throw him in Hot Streak, okay? And it won't be supercharged like you see with Spitfire, but when you pair Jet Vac with his personal vehicle, which is the Jetstream, it supercharges it. Right there, that is our inset box art for Legendary Hurricane Jet Vac. Sometimes they're dark like that. Sometimes they've got a little bit more of a light hue to them. I don't know. It's always an unknown. This to me doesn't look too bad in person, but it's got the nice airy background, the bright blue and white. In game, sometimes the Legendaries do seem a little dark to me. I kind of prefer more of like a not quite royal blue or aqua blue, but sort of something closer to that. Might pop, but nonetheless, it looks good as a figure. That's what matters here. And let's see here. New powers and weapons, ability to customize vehicle parts in the game. But again, imagine him as Jet Vac that you've come to know and love, but he's got brand new attacks and upgrades. New soul gem, new paths, new base attacks, everything. That's why I'm going to make it a priority, hopefully, to at least get some of the base upgrades done for these guys in our Skylanders research section. So, stock at my local store, not an issue. I'll just put it that way. So, if you wanted Legendary Jet Vac and you dropped the ball, you live under a rock, you forgot about superchargers for some reason, fear not, Legendary Jet Vac should give you zero problems in acquiring. Love that, not taped. It was not taped. The Stealth Stinger, Nitro Stealth Stinger, not taped. Steel-plated smash hit was taped. So, here's the figure in the packaging. What I like to do, this 45-degree bend you've come to know and expect, simply pull back on that. Don't do that. Apparently, you're going to want to free his gun first. Don't pull the gun out. Well, I guess you can, but don't use this to free him from the packaging, all right? So what you're going to want to do now is check the back. His vac is free. So now we can do our bend down, 45 degrees. Everything's fine. It was taped, so that's the problem. This was actually taped here, but it didn't tape the tag. So Nitro Stealth Stinger, no tape anywhere, including this pivot point. I was like, why will that not come down? Steel-plated smash hit taped on the label that you can see there. Legendary Hurricane Jet Vac, no tape on the label, but tape here. So we've got 3 varieties now to track. For some reason, I just enjoy doing that. Again, right here, though, don't free them that way or by the pack. Just come in, work the plastic around, and pop the base loose. That is the best way to do that without damaging the character. Don't really care if we damage the plastic. We want to keep this guy intact. So, gotta say, he looks pretty good freed out of there, too. Nice detail. That's the autosave. That turbine is essentially our autosave button in SuperChargers. So, he's got some form of the vac pack back. He's got the hose running to it. Pretty sweet turbine gun he's got set up. I think he'd look pretty cool with the silver replacing the gold as well. That's something I may look into. Air element. This is our first air element. He's sitting on the Rift engine. He's got 1 foot down, 1 foot up. Kind of gives the impression that he's sort of like charging forward while he shoots, if you will. Almost has like hoot loop eyes going on instead of like the traditional Jet Vac. I guess like the brow coming off does make him look a little bit more menacing like we're used to. Air element logo on the belt. Sweet. Good to see that. I don't know if you can tell, but that's actually a really good detail on the feathers. It's sort of washed out in that dark of a blue, but I do appreciate those details. Once again, air element logo. He has got his foot across the plenum, so that's where he is. Valve covers are free. There's the back foot up again. Kind of gives the illusion that he's sort of charging forward, while shooting. So he's not full speed, but he's kind of that guy moving forward with the pack, if you will. Nice detail on the armor on the arm. Again, I don't know the story here on what exactly he's doing, what changes he's had to the VAC system and everything. So I assume this is something him and Eon came up with, so we'll just kind of document it and see. Coming around to the bottom, there's our air element logo, and as we spin the Rift engine around, you can actually see there, that's pretty much on par with what we've seen on the air element basis throughout the history of Skyland. So it's a little bit more bland of a white, but the main focus here is the Rift engine. Again, if he's on the portal, you just see traces of that, even from a full frontal view. Turn him to the side, you get a nice cloud effect. Very well done, I would have to say. Jet Vac, his sticker dropped. So, here we go. It's the same thing as we saw with steel-plated Smash It. According to the sticker sheet, which is bent for some reason, we have got power at 200, armor 150, agility 200, and luck at 250. That's... wow, that's it's pretty salty. Differences between those two guys, but nonetheless, we'll see what they are in game. There's the name tag, there's the artwork, and again, right here, this is technically not a standalone sticker, but you can basically make it one for these stats. What will I do with this personally? I'll treat it like I did the stat cards. I'll archive it in a binder and go about it that way. Keep it intact. What we want to do now, his slogan, Hurricane Jet Vac, remains Hawk and Awe. Again, like I said, not everything has changed, but he is reimagined a bit. According to the strategy guide, our starting stats: max health 240, speed 43, armor 12, critical hit 6, elemental power, of course, as you might expect, 25. So they did not seem to change the background stories for any of the returning characters that are now Superchargers. For example, Trigger Happy, Terrafin, Stealth Elf, Jet Vac, Eruptor. So, just for good measure, Legendary Hurricane Jet Vac was the greatest, most daring flying ace in all of Legendary Wyndham. He was given his magical wings when he was young, as was the tradition for all Sky Barons. But when his homeland was raided, he chose to sacrifice his wings to a young mother so she could fly her children to safety. This act of nobility caught the attention of Master Eon, who sought out the young Sky Baron and presented him with a gift. See what I'm trying to point to there for you? A powerful vacuum device that would allow him to soar through the skies once again. Jet Vac accepted the gift with gratitude and now daringly fights evil along the other legendary Skylander SuperChargers. So, slightly modified, but what I like about this and why I think he was a good choice for Skylander SuperChargers, he was a flying ace, alright? And what does he have? He's got the vehicle known as the Jetstream, which is a sky vehicle. So he's going to be here in the Jetstream up in the sky. That makes perfect sense, okay? It's kind of like putting Gil Grunt in a submarine. It just makes sense. He's a fish, you know, so it makes sense for him to be a sea vehicle. This has a very nice tie-in, and most importantly, though, I mean, I can't stress this enough for people that aren't up to the minute with all things Skylands. A lot of you are probably going into the stores, you're passing over Terrafin, you're like, oh, Stealth Elf's in the starter pack, you know, throw her to the side, focus on the new stuff. No way am I buying Legendary Hurricane Jet Vac. This is essentially, I mean, let's just call this guy like War Lightning Rod. You know what? Just make up some brand new name, because that's essentially what it is. It's what you've come to know and expect, but with new powers. So if that's important to you, you'll want to explore these paths. If you don't care if Gil Grunt becomes the most OP character ever in Superchargers, you never want to see him again, yes, avoid him and avoid the race action pack. If you think, he's got new powers, huh? I think I might like to explore that. By all means, do it. Don't let that deter you. A lot of people under the impression it's a cash grab. It's, the same thing over and over again. Can we get two new, characters or somebody else? All these characters that are returning that you've become super familiar with, the Eruptors, Stealth Elves, Terrafins, and Jet Vacs of the world, all new upgrades. It's not a new Soul Gem. It's not a new WoW POW. They didn't add a third upgrade path. New base upgrades, new upgrade paths, new Soul Gem. So I do my best to reiterate that stuff to you, because there's just a lot of people that don't seem to know that yet. So that's it, as you would expect. And once more, Legendary Hurricane Jet Vac, available only at Toys R Us. $13.99, I believe, was the price. Very well stocked. Should have no trouble picking this dude up. Other legendaries, we'll have Legendary Bone Bash Roller Brawl, which should be pretty sweet. Then we've got Legendary Astro Blast, who will be coming packed with the legendary vehicle for him. I think in the race action pack that I believe will have Wolfgang available. Don't hold me to that, but I think it'll be the legendary Sunrunner, legendary Astroblast, and the Wolfgang trophy. So look for that later on, but right now he's the only legendary available, and I'm excited to get him on the portal and see what he's all about. So this is working out great for me. Stealth Elf, big fan. Terrafin, huge fan, obviously. Jet Vac I enjoy, so I don't mind revisiting these characters and getting to know them with new powers. So to me it's super exciting, just as good, possibly even better than a brand new character. I want to see how these guys have changed because I've spent 4 years of my life with them, essentially. So I want to see what new tricks we've got. But that's it. If you've got any questions that we didn't address here, let me know. You can follow me on Twitch, follow me on Twitter, like me on Facebook, circle me on Google+, whichever you prefer. We got a few more characters to unbox here, then we're going to get back in on the action. If you enjoy this type of thing, if you like the details, the thorough discussion, analysis, things of that nature, check out the Skylander Club Forum, SkylanderClub.com. People like you that enjoy this are the reason that I built that forum. The goal is for you to frequent it, to sign up, to contribute, to post, to share your thoughts and opinions, and just have more fun with your Skylanders. So that's what I do with it. That's what I hope you do with it. And if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like. Your support is much appreciated. And I will catch you back here for much more Skylanders SuperChargers unboxings.